Hi, my name's Jackie. I'm one of the Pilates Reformer instructors here at Sharks Fitness Centre. Today I'm going to be taking you through an orientation of our reformers, just so when you do come into your first class, you can feel confident and comfortable with the way the reformers do work. So let's get started and I'll show you through. Okay, so we're going to start at the front of our reformer here and just go through all of the different pieces. So we have what we call our gear bar. The gear bar has 4 different locations that it can be set at. And you can simply squeeze these little black toggles together to move the gear bar up and down those silver rails. Now the gear bar, if you're a little taller, you would probably have it closer to the carriage. And if you are less tall, you would start to move the gear bar more up towards the wooden platform here. Once you've got your gear bar in place, you'll notice that you can push the carriage back a little more to be able to see your stoppers. Now the stoppers are what stop the carriage from going any further. So with our stoppers, once again, if you are a little taller, we would suggest placing it on either the second or the third hole away from the front of the carriage. So for me, I'm going to keep it in the first stopper there. So now I've got my gear bar in place, my stopper in place. I'm also going to show you the springs that we have. So we have 5 different springs. The red springs are the heaviest load that we have. The green springs are about a half load, and then the yellow spring is the lightest spring, probably about a quarter load. However, just because it is a light spring doesn't mean that the exercise is going to be any easier. More often than not, having a lighter spring makes the exercise more challenging, and that's something that your instructor will be able to show you throughout your classes here at Sharks Fitness Centre. So the way that we put the springs on and off, simply hold on to the spring itself, pull it forward, and then you can just place the little circle over the silver bits here, and then to remove, same thing, just squeeze it on and off. Very simply comes on and off quite easily. So I'm just going to place one yellow spring back on, that way my carriage can be nice and still while I show you our foot bar. So the foot bar, there's 7 different positions your foot bar can go from, and the way that we move it is you actually need to push forward and start to pull up. So that'll be into one of the different slots. So just taking it through, your instructor will tell you where we need to have that placed. I'm going to take it a little further away, actually probably about here. So the main idea, once you've got your gear bar set up, your stopper, your springs and the foot bar in place, is that when you lay down on your carriage and you place your feet on your foot bar, you'll notice that there's a nice alignment from my ankle to my knee down to my hips. So I haven't got my knees crunched up here towards my chest. I've got a lot of room. I'm relaxed on the carriage, and my shoulders are just resting away from the shoulder guards. So then we've got our shoulder guards. When we're laying on the carriage on our back, our shoulders are just up against the guards, but slightly away a little bit. So we're nice and relaxed when we're laying on the carriage. We then come to our headrest here. The headrest can be adjusted. There's a little wooden panel that you can simply allow the headrest to go on an incline position. And sometimes people find that they do need that little bit of support under the neck. However, there's other options if you do need extra support, like having little squishy balls under the head as well. So that's the headrest there. We then come down to find our straps. Now the straps are located on both of the poles just behind your shoulder guards. However, they can also rest over the top of the shoulder guards. So when you come into your class, you might find them over the shoulder guards. If they're not there, just have a look and they'll be on those little poles behind there. We've got 2 straps here. The large strap on the outside is for our feet predominantly. The smaller one on the inside is for your hands. So having said that though, we can also use the large strap for our hands, and your instructor will always let you know which strap we're going to be holding on to. So also with our straps, we have the ability to make them longer or shorter. If you'd like to shorten them, simply just pull up on the rope here, and you can see that it starts to gently shorten, and then we can place that back on the pole there, open up those little toggles there, and then it all sort of squishes into place, and you can just slide this little rope along, and so now I've got it a lot shorter. If you want to just release that and go back to having it lengthways, you would just release here and allow the rope to fall back through, so it's a little longer. So there are your straps there. They come all the way along onto a little clip that attaches to the rope all the way to the back where your pulley is. And then we have what we call our silver rails along the inside here, just near the wooden platforms there as well. So your instructor might actually be guiding you for some particular movements and say, place your hands on the silver rails or on the outside of those wooden platforms there. We have our platform extender. This lives in the little empty space at the back of your reformer. The platform extender, just like it sounds, it actually helps to extend the length of the carriage. So what we would do is we would first of all place our foot bar all the way down. So we're just going to pull it up and lower it all the way down. So you can see there's these two holes on the wooden platform, and then your platform extender has two little legs there. They simply go into those holes like so, and all of a sudden now we have extra room to work with. Okay, so this is our jump board. Some people call it a springboard. This will actually be found laying underneath your reformer machine. We can actually put the foot bar all the way down, just like we did when we placed the platform extender on. And this time the jump board goes through the little holes there. We have some screws on the outside here that we need to just tighten once that jump board is in place to then keep it nice and secure, because you will actually be laying on the carriage on your back, placing your feet on the jump board and springing off of that. So next we have our box. Now, if your instructor says to you, place your long box on the carriage, it will go lengthways. Otherwise, it is a short box. Now, the box might be used on the carriage, or you might actually place it on the ground on the side of your reformer. Once again, your instructor is going to be telling you where to place your box. It is also hollow, so sometimes you might actually be placing that box over the top of the shoulder guards as well. All right, so that's a bit of a run through of all of the components of our reformer, but don't worry, when you do come to your class, your instructor will go through everything again, show you the precise setup of the reformer, including what color springs to have on for each exercise. So thanks for watching today, and we look forward to seeing you in a class soon.